mixture is a concrete, just like the Roman Colosseum specialized limestone. So this is also another reason why I'm like, oh my God, you guys have been doing this for 100 years plus. Radio frequency, industrial, scientific, and medical band. This is where we got our 2.4 terahertz from. And that's your targeted individuals in Havana syndrome as well. 2 radio frequency syncs, 1 over the heart, 1 over the bladder. Illegal as fuck. Putting RFID chips in people since the 60s. But John Finer, illegal as fuck. Putting RFID chips in people since the 60s. 1 over the individuals in Havana syndrome as well. 2 radio.
That's why I keep telling y'all people, man, this program is old. And a lot of y'all think that, you know, it has something to do with maybe you got some type of, maybe you had a cavity and they, you know, they did something. I hear people's comments, man, you know, they put something in your tooth and, man, I'm trying to tell you, this is way deeper than that, player. This is way, it's not about your dentist doing any surgical procedures. They don't have to. They don't have to. All I'm telling you is they don't have to do that. When it comes to frequency and biofield mechanics, they don't have to do none of that. Medical implant communication system, medical industry, scientific, targeted individual with Havana syndrome, they don't have to do that. I'm not saying that they never done it. All I'm saying is that they don't have to. The technology is so advanced.
Frequency syncs, 1 over the heart, 1 over the bladder. Illegal as fuck. Putting RFID chips in people since the 60s. With John von Neumann software and architecture. Why and how? So the first line I ever...
Because I don't have no implants in my mouth. I don't have no, you know, no metal, you know, cavities, nothing like that. And they track me down. They've been tracking me down for the last, like I said, for that last 8, 9, you know, almost 10 years. You know what I'm saying? They can read your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? So I already know that I'm connected to some machine. I'm very aware of that. I'm very aware that somebody, some AI, can see through my eyes and they know exactly what I'm doing in real time.
I had to destroy because the Pentagon was so pissed at me. And I said, I know why you've done this, because you did it for wireless tissue.
Wireless tissue engineering. Now I got the video. Y'all gonna see where I got the video from. I shared it on my video, on my post. So you can check out the whole video. I'm not gonna record this whole video. It's 40 minutes long. I just want y'all to hear just some of the pinpoints.
Tissue engineering, which is I know why you've done this, because you did it for wireless tissue engineering, which is what's his name is up there with Palpatine, also known as Klaus Schwab, talking about all the time. Okay? So, your body is 802.15.6. You're a wide body area network. We fly a drone with sensors, open system architecture, and modified open system.
And I gotta pause it. And this is the reason why they spray all the time. This is the reason why they have to continue to spray in the sky to make us a walking antenna, to make us susceptible to the machine. So even though you might be detoxing, they're spraying every day. So you already know that the bots, man, if you know these bots ain't detoxing nothing, you TIs ain't even detoxing. So you already know that you're a perfect conductor to the machine.
Your body is 802.15.6. You're a wide body area network. We fly a drone with sensors, open system architecture, and modified open system approach. We can slap any hardware on the ass end of it. We can log into it with a web portal. We fly it over your home. Now, people who think that CERN, ITER, and Tokamak are demon portals are a bit confused.
Right.
Big fucking magnet under your feet could be the baseboard carrier signal to your cable company or baseline satellite. And we create an electromagnetic field above your head and below your feet. Now, your biofield, your whole fucking body, is inside of 802.15.6. The biosensors are individually accessible with CISA MyTinyOS cybersecurity on 802.15.4. Your wireless sensor networks create radio frequency relays and anything that they need to perturbate cell structure on 802.15.5. And before you say, well, what the hell do they need all that for? Precision artificial intelligence, wireless healthcare. So we break out the internal organs and divide it up, and that's how we're able to make the genetic change if we want to with the CRISPR-Cas9 infusion, which I'll show in a sign here in a moment. Or we can just go ahead and terahertz to gigahertz, gigahertz to terahertz, and exchange out your cell structure. Oh, but they need to practice that. They already did. So what they did was they lied. So first you see a UFO, they radiate your body part known as the biofield. Then you start getting psychic abilities. They're called part known as the... So first you see a UFO, they radiate your body part known as the biofield.
And I'm trying to stress you. I've been stressing this for the longest, that every TI, and not just every TI, but everybody basically, but more so us, since we're targeted, we are being radiated every day. So I advise you not to be cooking your food in the microwave. At least don't do that.
Then you start getting psychic abilities. They're called
psychic poltergeist.
Psionics. Telepathy, empathy, precognition, telekinetics, it's all natural in human bodies. Neurons. And neurons are not only in your brain, they are body-wide. Nobody knows any of that. You're not allowed to talk about any of that. So instead you're told you're a fucking nut job, take drugs, or else you can't talk to anybody who any of that. So instead you're told you're a fucking nut job, take drugs, or else you can't talk to anybody who's normal. The Christians will scare the shit out of you, call you evil. The people that want to wear robes, bleed on normal. The Christians will scare the shit out of you, call you evil. Drugs, or else you can't talk to anybody who's normal. The Christians will scare the shit out of you, call you evil.
And this is the reason why I be bashing on that religion. Because the religion mixed up with this, it's just going to have you cuckoo. You know what I'm saying? Because most of y'all TIs be screaming demons and stuff. You know what I mean? Like I said, if you go to the court of law, you can't be talking no religion. You can't religion is not going to stand in the court. You got to have science, law, terminology to be able to stand in court. You can't be talking about, oh man, these demons attacking me and reptilians on my ass. You can't be talking like that. They're going to put you in a straitjacket. So as far as, these Christian people that got these Christian channels and then they want to mix gang stalking up in it, they're just probably shills. You know what I'm saying? Just to throw a curveball. You know what I'm saying? To have people confused, especially if they're getting a lot of views.
People that want to wear robes, bleed on the floor, and do stupid shit with the CIA, thinking that they're surfing the astroplane, they end up on the Cisco backplane. And you're like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? Well, they're pulling the neurons out of your body just a little bit at a time and loading them in. What are you talking about? Well, they're pulling the neurons out of your body just a little bit at a time and loading.
So basically, they're stripping you. They're stripping you daily. They're pulling neurons out of your body. They're stripping you from trace minerals. Talk to what's the guy name? Tony Pella. I always mess his last name up. Tony Pasquarello, whatever his last name is. Y'all know what I'm talking about. He always talk about getting yourself some copper. Getting yourself some copper. I had this for a little bit. As you can see, I got a little bit left. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to need your trace minerals. You're going to need your trace minerals. Why? Why do you need your trace minerals? Y'all may ask. You see it right here? This is bioactive copper hydrosol. I can't see it I can't read it from the thing. Let me get it close. This is good for joint, bone, hair, skin, and nails, cardiovascular health, energy and metabolism. Copper is so important. What else it says on it? Even children, it says on the directions, it says children 4 years and older, you could take two teaspoons of this. You know what I'm saying? So how come you don't know about this? You know what I'm saying? How come this is not on the pyramid dietary chart? You know what I'm saying? Because they don't want you to know about this. They don't want you to get well. They want you to die, but they want to torture you in the meantime. So
putting them into a neuron. Well, they're pulling the neurons out of your body just a little bit at
they're pulling the neurons out of your body just a little bit at a time. They're stripping us. They're stripping you daily.
a time and loading them into a neuromorphic chipset.
And loading them in some type of motherfucking chipset. Now look, check out what she say.
How do you think they got such incredible artificial intelligence in the first fucking place? It's your neurons, and they admit.
Ain't that some crazy stuff? I'm gonna rewind it back one more time.
They got such incredible artificial intelligence in the first fucking place. It's your neurons, and they.
So people talking about clones. We already cloned, player. AI is basically you. You know what I'm saying? You created iRobot. You know what I'm saying? Cause probably the bull Tesla and all his comrades and everybody, you know, that's a part of this program, this DARPA NASA program to strip away our neurons and they doing this is all engineering, human engineering of the physiology, and they're taking our DNA. They all in our Akashic records, your mitochondria. If you hear the trash man, it's a trash man outside. It's Friday, so they're all in our body, all in our biology to create AI. I said it a while ago. I said, where did the people that's a diabetic, right? I was told a long time ago that when you get insulin, my dad died from diabetes, right, years ago. I said, when you get insulin, right, where did the beast get the insulin that you have to take if you're a diabetic? My dad was taking insulin shots for like, I think 2-3 times a day. He had all these little insulin bottles, right? So the question is, where did the beast get this insulin? The beast get the insulin, number one, engineering. They make it up in a lab, some type of biochemistry. Number two, they get it from the animals. They get it from the cow, they get it from the pig. You see what I'm saying? Or they might be getting it from other dead people. You see what I'm saying? So it ain't no telling where they're getting it from. But they're getting it from somewhere. They have to be getting it from somewhere in order to give it to you. So my point is what you saying, D? My point is, where did AI come from? AI came from you. You know what I'm saying?
So backplane. And you're like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? Well, they're pulling the neurons out of your body just a little bit at a time and loading them into a neuromorphic chipset. How do you think they got such incredible artificial intelligence in the first fucking place? It's your neurons, and they admit.
So basically, we created AI. And that's the reason why we like, man, look at the robots, man. They're so human. They're so this and this and that. So you already know who can do something like this. You already know that it has to be reptilians and greys and galactical other beings to be able to pull this type of crap off. You see what I'm saying? But like I said, you still can't go to court talking like that. You can't be like, oh man, yeah, reptilians and demons is doing it. You can't talk like that in court. It ain't gonna stand.
They need living neurons to do what they do. Now, this is where a bunch of people get fucked up with me, and they're like, oh, Sabrina, you're being a doom pillar, blah, blah, blah. There's no way they would pull our neurons out of our body, store them in a chipset, and then take our skin and bone, do what they wanted to with it, lock us underground, and then when we think we're being born, they're putting us back into another body somewhere. And everyone goes, ah! We think we're being born, they're putting us back into another body somewhere. And everyone goes, ah! And I'm like, listen, the dimension that we live in, they lied to you about how it works with material physics.
Fact.
You think people are going to burn in fire and brimstone, and this is the part of things you can take it or leave it. But what I saw was that people go into a neuromorphic chipset. It's a plasmonic architecture underground. And that makes sense to me because that's one of the reasons so many... Now, this is where it's your neurons, and they admit they need living neurons to do what they do.
Now watch what she's about to say, y'all. It gets heavy.
Now, this is where a bunch of people get fucked up with me, and they're like, oh, Sabrina, you're being a doom pillar, blah, blah, blah. There's no way they would pull our neurons out of our body, store them in a chipset, and then take our skin and bone, do what they wanted to with it, lock us underground, and then when we think we're being born, they're putting us back into another body somewhere. And everyone goes, ah! And I'm like, listen,
you think you're being born, but they're putting you back into another body somewhere.
dimension that we live in, they lied to you about how it works with material physics. You think people are going to burn in fire and brimstone, and this is the part of things you can take it or leave it. But what I saw, you think people are going to burn in fire and brimstone, and this is the part of things you can take it or leave it. But what I saw was that people go into a neuromorphic chipset. It's a plasmonic architecture underground. And that makes sense to me because that's one of the reasons so many people throw in with this system that recycles itself. It's not some big secret. These are jobs. So the wireless body area network, you're sitting there, they fly over, you get radiated, you start having psionic abilities, and they continue to perturbate your biofield. They watch your dreams, they record your dreams, and they record everything you're thinking in your biofield. They watch, you start having psionic abilities, and they continue to perturbate your biofield. They watch your dreams, they record your dreams, and they record everything you're thinking in real time to databases that are using the ubiquitous and the ambient air molecules all around you. Again.
Now, how many times I stressed, and I said it in my videos, that they are in my dreams. They record my dreams. They record my thoughts in real time. Why do you think the bots is watching you? And these bots that live next door, they stand. Look, remember in my past, when I used to stay at motels, I used to wake up 3, 4 in the morning and look out the window of the motel room, and there would be plants, bots outside my door, in cars, in white, red cars, sitting right by my window. And not just them, but the ones next door, in the next room on both sides, left and right. They're monitoring and they're tracking me while I am asleep. And they're doing the same to you. They are doing the same to you. While you're asleep, while you're woke, they're tracking you. They're in your dream world. They're all in your physiology. They're recording. They're transporting all this information, all this data back to the CIA.
What dreams, they record your dreams, and they continue to perturbate your biofield. They watch your dreams, they record your dreams, and they record everything you're thinking in real time to databases that are using the ubiquitous and the ambient air molecules all around you. Again, well-minded, or I should say healthy people, they're like, that's way too much micromanagement. Yeah, but if you didn't have a body, and you had no way to have a body, and you're running the world and you're obsessed with control, okay? The next thing is if you get a little too radiated and your bionomics, your bioinformatics fall out of place, or you fall into a liminal space, we can then morph you again with genomics and morphology, transhumanism full on, and turn you into Bigfoot and Wolfman and whatever else. And you can be bilocated, and there's 4D skiffs that they can walk into to be secure from bioweapons. Now, that all sounds nuts, I know. Everybody's like, no, the aliens are here. And I said, no, we make the aliens. And everybody continued to freak out on me, and I'm like, listen, the HemiSync thing, the CIA gateway process, that was you people feeding the databases. You're bleeding over the masters for DNA synchronicity and DNA sequence matching. That's your global information grid for your digital twin. And your string theory is bullshit, but we do have a 4D. There's no multiverse. There's just the Nephilim and everybody else. So, oh, you think that because you're a Christian. No, I think that because that's what I saw with nature spirits and every other type of creature you can possibly imagine. And it was still the same jack-offs who were kidnapping people and doing terrible things. So, for me, I'm like, how?
And you wonder why we got so many people missing. You wonder why we got so many people missing. Have you seen me? Hold on.
How is it that you're not telling anybody that you've got their ass on the cloud with 80% of their immune system locked down? Telling anybody that you've got their ass on the cloud with 80% of their immune system locked down? Not telling anybody that you've got their ass on the cloud with 80% of their immune system locked down.
And this is why they can get you sick.
Transcranial magnetic stimulation was what they were doing to me, but they told me I had pseudotumor cerebri. back in the 90s, they said when you could feel the subtle electrocution, there was no such thing back then as electrosensitive, because they didn't tell anybody they were subtly electrocuting people. They said, no, you have fibromyalgia, you're just a wuss to pain. No, you don't have, you have pseudotumor cerebri, fake brain tumor. Your brain is acting like it has a tumor, but we don't know why. Well, because
Right.
you're transcranially magnetically stimulating my brain to swell it and deswell it for metrics testing for non-invasive N3 with.
So I'm trying to tell you, all these diseases that we have been created by satellite torture. DARPA, NASA. This is satellite warfare. And they got everybody plugged up to the machine. And they just create these illnesses and be like, oh, they're going to make up these fancy words. You know, like what she just said. What is it? Pseudo tumor and all this, you know, all this pseudo seizure and all this crap. Lupus, that's another one. Let me hear what she got to say about that.
With DARPA, that's fucking why. And I have a seraphim, and I was removed from the M3 process, which is MPD and DID. You just put an EEG overlay of personality, just a nanolobotomy, a few neurons at a time, and then we can induce your neurons into an alpha state. When we do that, it causes schizophrenia, but only in certain neural networks. And we use that back in the day in the 80s and 90s to check parity for neuron, neuron, and brain, brain. Now those products and services are commercial. They are available from the Artificial Intelligence Symposium that you can still go read the transcripts for from September 2020. And that's synthetic telepathy and synchron and brain-to-brain interface, which is, in my opinion, why they needed to hurry up and get the newest backbone deployed, because not enough people knew, of course, because it's their personal private system of walking circles around all the good people who are doing their jobs legally. And none of this has legal oversight. All of it is black projects hidden. So that's why I keep getting pissed at people who claim they're going to sue people. I'm like, you guys don't know what you're talking about.
Right. Tell
don't
them.
know I'm getting pissed at people who claim they're going to sue people. I'm like, you guys don't know what you're talking about. Hidden, doing their jobs legally. And none of this has legal oversight. All of it is black projects hidden. So that's why I keep getting pissed at people who claim they're going to sue people. I'm like, you guys don't know what you're talking about.
You don't.
You either don't know what you're talking about, or you're purposely swindling people out of good money, because you're not suing anybody.
You're not suing nothing.
I'm looking for my synthetic biology site.
You're not.
Anyways.
You're not suing nothing. How can you sue something when everybody's involved in it? You think, who are you going to get? How you going to get a lawyer to represent some biohack-based gang stalking? You know what I'm saying? Electronic warfare. What lawyer's going to stand in the court to represent you? You holding on Jesus' hand. Huh? You think a judge is going to rule this in court? How is the judge going to rule in the court? First of all, everybody under mind control. Second of all, everybody's scared to death. This is some serious crap. If you ever hear anybody say, oh man, gang stalking is that deep, man, just don't even pay that bot no mind. They have no clue. They don't know what they're talking about. They haven't done the homework. They don't understand how this is being played out upon the population. Just look around. Everybody's gone. The 1978 body snatching movie done already happened. You know what I'm saying? The guinea pigs are us. Technologies of control, player. You know what I'm saying? You are the guinea pig. So be it. You remember that, motherfucker. The beast is saying, I'm the one y'all need to be worried about. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't suing a damn thing. You just wasting your damn time. But don't get me wrong, it's still good to learn law. It's good to study to show thyself approved, like the Bible says. And stop reading Psalm 91 all the damn time. Learn something.
So, after having all your autoimmune disorders that never go away, I wanted to know, how the fuck did they do this? Well, back in the day, with all these companies that they have, with IBM, Fairlongin, and Underground, they just kept going to work. Nobody said a fucking word. Nobody said a word. Nobody said a word. The quantum systems with the IEEE and all that are on. In 2019, well, come on, let's go. Turn on the synchron and the brain-to-brain interface on the back end on a bigger system. What do I mean? Quantum computing, we gave the signature reduction force for people in the white vans a job and a pension. I have longer videos to prove that out. Signature reduction force for people in the white vans a job and a pension. I have longer Quantum computing, we gave the signature reduction force for people in the white vans a job and a pension. I have longer videos.
The people in the white vans? Yo, I don't get they got some pollen coming through the window right now. I don't get the white vans like I used to. But in the beginning of the stalking, oh my goodness, it was ridiculous. So many white vans used to be parked outside. Yo, they used to have white vans when I was working at the pizza shops. They'd pull up and just park right across the street and be there the whole time while I'm delivering pizza. The white vans, yo. Comment down below if y'all get the white vans.
To prove that out, local logistics started hybridizing themselves with transhumanism. In the 90s, you had non-invasive N3, library access, NIST, NASA, and brain-to-brain web portals. 1995 in Congress. You think they knew? Then, in 802.15.4 becomes commercial to all the little nerds in 2005. In 2012, Kerry Majay Group, they all get together and get told, we're doing this, we're going to be deploying in a few years, so get ready. Shut your fucking mouth about anything related to the biofield, just like they took away all of Dr. Robert Young's work in the last 3 years. And then in 2014, brain-to-brain interface became commercially available. Now, with all that additional traffic, now between themselves and all the different elites and people that have now thrown in to be transhuman and take over the world, do you think they needed a bigger backbone? COVID has its own data center. They need to make sure that they can change out everybody on a button press remotely. That way there's no worrying about you fighting them or getting in their way.
Right.
Would you believe that's what's written inside the Pentagon directive? Because it is.
And that's why they made that COVID 25 a mandatory thing.
They're not worried about you being able to pull your gun. They're only worried about unintended engagement and loss of control of their drones. There was interestingly, the Department of Defense Directive 3009 does not refer to positive outcomes as a design criterion. Department of Defense Directive 3009 defines the goal of autonomous systems to avoid negative outcomes, unintended engagement, or experience a loss of control. 2012 for implementation on the 8th of May 2017. And the wide body area network since 1995, and your biosensors since...
And you see that says all since 2012. Now remember, everybody kept saying that something was supposed to happen in 2012. Well, obviously it did. But just because we don't see it as face value, we be thinking that, I guess, the sun and the moon gonna fall out the sky and all that. It ain't all about that. A lot of things is already happening. Just because you don't see it. Same with this solar eclipse that just passed. A lot of things have happened. It may look like it was just a normal day, but it's not. They're doing all types of shifts going on. That so-called earthquake that PA in New York had, I believe that was a shift with the planetary solar system. You know what I'm saying? Out of nowhere on that day, we just had some earthquake. So I'm just going to end it right here. I know this is just too deep for a lot of y'all. But for those that's interested, man, stay tuned, share it, watch it over and over and over again. Take notes, do what you do. Let the Bible toting Jesus people, continue to hold on to Jesus' pale hand, you know what I'm saying? And just stay in the dark.
17.
We're gonna learn over here, we're gonna learn the science.
Network since 1995. And your biosensor since 2005 means nobody got a choice. We have human body or human bonding communication on the RF. Everyone is now a cyborg with soft robotics deployed with the biosensors that are DNA analyte derivative made out of your tissue, talking to satellites on position navigation and timing, NTS-3 accessible, no GPS needed, inside of your body. Your body is the network, your body is the node, your DNA is propagated.
Don't you know? It's going to be a lot of TIs that's going to turn into bots. I want to say that, you know what I'm saying? I want to say it's going to be a lot. If we watch the movie, you watch the movie Body Snatchers, the ones that was running from the Body Snatchers, they turned as well. Remember the dude at the end? It was ah, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of y'all TIs gonna turn into goddamn bots because you don't know, you don't have the full armor of God, which meaning you are not educating yourself and preparing yourself of how to combat this type of warfare. You thinking just reading Psalm 91 gonna get you by. You know what I'm saying? You thinking that all I gotta do is eat some cabbage is gonna get you by. If you're not, like I said, if you're not taking detoxing serious, then you gonna be the one. You're gonna be the one out there on some zombie shit. I'm trying to tell you. They're gonna hack your ass.
The RF.
I hate to put a slug in the TI's head. When the zombie apocalypse pop off, it's gonna pop off. It's gonna be what's the word, pandemonium. It's gonna be chaos all in the streets. Everybody gonna be going crazy. It's gonna be Michael Jackson Thriller. Dun 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 dun. And motherfuckers, it ain't gonna be no dancing now. It ain't gonna be no choreography. You know, nothing like that. It's gonna be just like these movies that you see. People eating brains and flesh and blood dripping from their mouths. I'm trying to tell you, this is what's gonna happen. Why do you think they keep showing us these movies? Why? Because they know it's gonna happen with this type of technology. We already had people eating flesh years ago, some years back when it was messing with that that was it, that K2 and crap. You know what I'm saying? That fake weed or whatever it was, or whatever.
Everyone is now a cyborg with soft robotics deployed with the biosensors that are DNA analyte derivative made out of your tissue, talking to satellites on position navigation and timing, NTS-3 accessible, no GPS needed, inside of your body. Your body is the network, your body is the node, your DNA is propagating the signal, no tower required. Body is the node, your DNA is propagating the signal, no tower required.
She said no tower required. Now check it out. This right here is just, proof to all these people saying, well, D, just leave your phone at home, man. Man, just shut your dumb ass up. You don't know what you're talking about. I done left my phone at home. Look, I told you I've been in this program. They activated me in 2016. You don't think I tried that by now? You don't think I tried to leave my phone at home? Man, come on, man. We running out of storage on this phone. Holla back, y'all. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. DB Gang Stalking Simulation, the best channel on YouTube. I'm going to go ahead and put this on Truth in Plain Sight as well. Holla Bizak. Keep your head up. Study to show thyself approved. Detox your nasty ass. Holla Bizak.